Yeah, I think the government have been quite clever in saying actually it's temporary, which generally makes you think short term, but they haven't given a duration on it. So they've been very clear that it's not short term in nature. But I think most people will be shocked to hear a year or two. You mentioned low wind speeds being an issue on the renewable side. And obviously, if you've got gas available or fossil fuels available to fill the gap of that, that's all well and good. We haven't, because the UK's only got about 7 days storage capacity on that gas, when most countries run between 6 and 12 months. Seems ludicrous, but that's policy from years ago. But if we fast forward to hopefully in the not too distant future, when we aren't in using fossil fuels in any way, shape or form, how does the renewable sector plug the times where there isn't wind blowing, or it's at night and the solar panels aren't working?
And that has been part of the debate over the years, right? Is what we call between base load generation, so generation you can switch on and off as required, and intermittent generation, which can be solar, can be wind, can be other renewable technologies that rely on elements that you don't control, essentially. It can be relatively predictable, but you still have moments like we had in the last few months where wind speeds are lower than expected. So it's a transition, right? This will never going to happen overnight. The focus so far, if you look at how renewables have been deployed over the last 10, 15 years, has been on generation, right? But in order to be able to completely replace fossil fuels from a generation perspective, you need to address that base load concept, which is how do you ensure that you can use electricity when you need it from renewables. And that's why, for example, if you see how the market is evolving from a renewable perspective, a lot of the discussion is moving not only from the generation, which we now understand extremely well, and there's a significant amount of investment across the UK and various international markets, but also the enabling technologies that allow you to replicate that base load generation profile that you need to address moments like this,
right?
When you have low wind speeds, or when you have an issue with interconnectors with other countries. So when suddenly you lose part of your generation and you need to bring capacity to satisfy that. What are we talking about? We're talking about things like battery storage. We're talking about pump storage. We're talking about technologies that allows you, in a way, to transfer the electricity that you generate into periods where you actually need to use it.
Yeah.
But that requires investment, that requires a significant deployment of new projects, and this doesn't happen overnight.